The Friday performance, where I think it was a season low, 158. I don't want to talk too much, but what went wrong, and then to come back and get a victory, kind of salvage that road trip you just kind of talked about both days.
San Francisco State's a very good basketball team. Their environment that particular night was a special one for San Francisco State University. They had a sellout crowd, and they did a very nice job with game management, putting it on Comcast TV up and down the state of California, so there was a lot of hype for that game. The Gators came out fired up and got a 15-point advantage on us early in the game and sustained it. We never really made a run, and did a nice job defensively and kept us from shooting like we usually do, shooting well from the floor. Didn't happen that night due to their defense.
But you guys come back, get the victory at Sonoma. I'm sure coming back 0-2 wouldn't have been fun, but to get that splitting on the road, the kind of salvage, I'm sure, pleased to kind of come back and do that.
I think we showed some mental toughness within a 24-hour period of time and came back and played extremely well the second half at Sonoma State. And Sonoma State also had a venue that was sold out with their crowd and did a nice job with their game management and giving free T-shirts and pizza out to the players or the fans and did a really nice job with that. So they came out fired up. We sustained that at a tie at half at Sonoma State and shot it extremely well like we do. And the second half it pulled away and had a comfortable lead.
Talk on the road about the venues you played at, noisy, big crowds. And Humboldt State traditionally known for those large, noisy crowds. At this part of the season, I mean, I'm sure you guys, the few home games that you guys do have left, that you want that place rocking.
We do, we expect that, and just like they expect us to play well and be competitive, we expect a great crowd. The next three games, it's Thursday, Saturday, and following Thursday evening, last game of the season here at Humboldt. So we expect great crowds, and our whole mission right now is to get a CC2A tournament bid and get in and have a good seed in that lineup of 8 teams that qualify. We certainly have an opportunity to host the first round, which will be on a Tuesday night, and so we're looking forward to competing here the next 5 games and see where the chips fall. It's going to be an interesting down the stretch run in the CC2A.
I'm sure you looked at scenarios that, obviously you want to win every game from here on out, but what do you guys need to do to get into that tournament and even host? I'm sure everybody wants to be hosting, that first round. Nobody wants to go on the road.
We need to win games to retain a home playoff, and I think that it is one game at a time, and every game is a huge victory for us in that we're one game ahead of Cal State Monterey Bay in the standings, retaining a 4 seed right now. We're 4th place right now and top 4 seed host, so we're on borderline that way. We have a 1-game lead on Monterey Bay, a 2-game lead on Sonoma, and beating Sonoma twice really helps when the tiebreaker criteria. And the same thing could happen with Monterey Bay. We only play them once this year, so beating them once, being 1-0 and tie-breaking criteria down into the CC2A tournament becomes a big issue. So Saturday night's a very big basketball game. Certainly can't overlook Thursday night just because of the win factor against East Bay.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Obviously, an important game with Monterey on Saturday, but on Thursday, what do you tell your guys to stay focused and not overlook? Because there's games this year you guys have seen that games that maybe you should have won, didn't win, and with other teams as well. So how important is it to stay focused just on East Bay on Thursday?
I think it's more of the coaches and more of the fans. Taking a look at one game at a time than it is the players. The players play, and they get excited about playing, and the opportunity to play at home is always special for our guys, and so I think they're focused on Thursday night. I don't think that's a real issue when it comes in terms of looking ahead to a bigger game, possibly statistically, as far as the standings go for Saturday night. Just like last weekend, beating Sonoma State and losing to San Francisco State, if you were to split, that's the split you want as far as keeping ourselves alive for hosting a playoff game. And you can say the same for this weekend. If you were to look to split, which which we don't try to do at home, that's for sure. We'd rather split with a Monterey Bay game just because of statistics. But it's one game at a time, and we've got to play well. And the bottom line from a coaching standpoint is that we need to be playing our best basketball in March on that Tuesday night when the CC2A tournament begins.
Facing East Bay for the first time this season, 4-11 in conference, 8-15 overall. So not a good record in conference play, but what have you seen about them on video and how we match up against them?
They're big, they're tough, they're well coached, they're an emotional team. They get fired up for defensive plays. Their bench up is up and yelling. They take a charge or loose ball, save out of bounds. And they are a collective group that are on board with each other. At least it appears that way. They fight, they scrap, they play everybody close, which says a lot about how good they are. And I'm sure they'll have some resiliency and they'll get fired up